Now okay, I know it was you that said this years ago to me when I found out about what your current main business is. And I believe you said that you figured out how to get in front of the money.
Get in front of the money. Get in between the money, between when the customer and the money. If you can get in between there in my processing business, so most businesses that I have tied to it all tie around, all are grouped around my restaurant delivery business, all because of the processing side, right?
Right.
This business, I look at it this way and I go, so let's say I went out there and hustled up 100 companies to use for the data. You know, the I just went to Cadova, who's one of my clients, right? Said, where do you store your data? And they go, oh, well, we do this. I go, well, so I can cut your costs by 40%. And they go, yes, right? And they start storing their data. Well, I'm in between their money, right? I'm getting
Yep.
paid before anything else. And so if you can get in between the money, you can give them great value. We're not taking advantage of them. And I believe the studies I've seen and the numbers I've seen, we're going to save companies money. So if they're charged X amount, we're going to be able to charge about, 30, 40% cheaper. That's a good thing because we
That's a
don't have
big
all that
saving.
overhead, right?
That's
So, and people are in today's economy, businesses, we're dealing with a company right now. I won't mention their name because they aren't a part of your podcast here and that, but this company does hundreds of millions of dollars a year in business. They're only 7 years old. Hundreds of millions. I'm talking about, they'll probably hit $1 billion by the end of next year. All they do is cost segregation. All they do is go into businesses and say, hey, how much you paying for your insurance? How much you paying for your data? They love this idea of the data. How
right.
much you paying for this? How much you paying for that? And then they don't charge them anything. They go and they lower their prices down there. And they're these young guys, these technical wizards that all graduated from Princeton and Stanford and MIT and stuff. And they just do this stuff. And they're working with the biggest of the biggest companies. And they come to us because we handle the processing then for many of those companies. We just got Simon Malls, the largest mall builder in the United States, for their online. We just got their business because of that, because they looked at it and they're spending, you're costing you this much, we can get you to this much, and it goes through us, right? And they
Yep.
get a small little referral fee for it, right? But the bottom line is businesses are looking for ways to lower their costs. And we've got a solution for them. But we're really here to talk to people that might be interested in spending 15 grand or 30 grand or 150 grand. How many do you want, right? Maybe you start out with one and, 6 months later you're making, I forget the exact numbers. I did it based on if I'm making an extra $1,000 a month, right? And we all know that you could make as much as 6,000 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
As it fills up, that's the number. So how many do you want? If one tastes good, maybe you want another one, and then another one, and then another one. But it's not going away. That's all I know. And that's passive income.
And that's what's so amazing is some of the stuff I've had to do in the past to create a kind of residual income. And I mean, I know you've heard me say this before, but I remember because you said residual passive. I remember years ago, the first time, because I was not taught any of this in school. I didn't go to college. And I went and saw something and I came home. I told my dad, I was so excited. There was this company that had residential income. And he kind of laughed and he goes, you mean residual? I go, I think they got that too. And I had to understand what residual meant, being doing something today, but you continue to get paid again and again. And
Right.
I've mentioned this on a few of the podcasts about the ESBNI, the four quadrants that, the cash flow quadrant Kiyosaki talks about. And it's now with this thing right here, to me, this seems like one of the smartest ways to get started in that I quadrant, because it's not like I was literally thinking about getting another couple rental properties with some of the cash flow that I was, wondered what I should do with it, because I'm looking at a bunch of things. And I'm like, this one just makes more sense with less headache, like you said a little bit ago.
Yeah,
Like,
no tenants, no thing. And the company that we're using, which I love, they take care of all
yeah,
the infrastructure, the day-to-day things that there's, and they've got double and triple redundancy built in. So, I mean, everything works just the way the Intel one does. But,